welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hi, welcome. If you guys hear noise in the background, it's my fiance and her brother, and Ariel's listening to Frozen. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Ariel having to have a brain ultrasound, and because as you know, if you follow me on TikTok, you probably saw that. And I didn't really answer any questions about it. I didn't really know what was going on at the time. But now I got some answers. I did vlog the day that we had the ultrasound done. But in some of the clips, you could just tell that I was so out of it because that night I could not sleep. I was just so worried about her and like watching over her. So it scared me. I just didn't sleep. I decided to refilm this, basically talking about it. I will include some clips of like being there, you know, the drive, all that kind of stuff. I will include that in this video, but just for like the talking aspect from it, I will be doing that just now because it was bad. I was just so tired. So the reason we had to get the brain ultrasound done was because one day we were just kind of, you know, hanging out at home, and Ariel, I looked at her soft spot was raised. And if you know, babies have a soft spot. They're usually slightly inward, very, very slightly curved inward, which is a normal soft spot. Usually when the soft spot is raised, it is not a good sign. It can be a sign of a lot of bad things. So, me making the mistake, I went ahead and looked up on the internet what it could be. Don't do that, because I literally gave myself a heart attack because like all of the things I was reading was like this, just like all of these horrible things. And I'm not saying, you know, what they told me isn't like horrible, because it kind of is. It's not good. It's not safe, I guess you can say, but I'll get more into that later. I called her doctor. Well, that night I actually called Ultrasound hospital because they have an on-call doctor for her doctor's office. So I called her and they told me that the doctor would call me back. So I waited a good, I think, hour for the doctor to call me. And then, hi.
Just stealing some drugs. So, where's your ibuprofen?
Ibuprofen, it should be right there. I haven't moved it. Take it back. That's where it was.
That's not here.
I don't know.
What?
So I waited for the doctor to call me. It took about an hour, and I was freaking out pretty much the whole time. Sorry if you have like weird cast of lights. The window's open and it's being weird. But anyway, I finally got to talk to the doctor, and she's like, she goes, is she vomiting? I was like, no. She's like, does she have a fever? I was like, not really. The highest her fever got was like 99.2 or something like that. So she was like, okay, is she getting like, are any of her arms or legs stiff? Is her neck stiff? Like she can't move it? Has she started seizing? Nothing like that. I was like, no, nothing like that has happened. She's like, okay, so I would not have you come into the emergency room tonight, because it was like probably like 1 a.m. at the time. And she goes, but I do want you to do an emergency appointment with her doctor today, as in like that day, because it was 1 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, okay. So she's like, go ahead and call her doctor as soon as you wake up in the morning, as early as you can. Try to get in tomorrow, or well, you know what I mean. I was like, okay. So I hung up with her, and then that night I was just a worrywart all night long. And then the next day I called her doctor's office as soon as I could. I was like, do you guys have something for today? She's like, yeah, you can come in. You know, we're pretty dead because, you know, no one's been in here because of the coronavirus. So I was like, okay, cool. So we got to the doctor's office, and they wouldn't allow Kinsey back in the room with us because of the fact that they're only allowing one parent due to the corona. So I went back there by myself with Ari. The doctor checked her out. She said that everything looked fine, but her soft spot was swollen. So she's like, I am concerned about that. She's like, I want you to get an immediate brain ultrasound done. So I was like, okay. And she gave me an emergency form for a urgent brain scan at Ultrasound hospital. So we went, and we were driving on our way to St. Pete, but then I called my called the place up there, you know, to make sure I could make it or come in as I'm walking. And I called them. They're like, we're not sure, you know, because of the coronavirus, we're not really taking much patients unless it's, you know, immediate. I was like, the form that I have says it's urgent and it says stat. And then she's like, okay, well, just have your doctor call me so that way we can do some verifications. I was like, okay. And so I called her doctor, and her doctor was like, yeah, let me give them a call and I'll call you back and see what's going on. We ended up waiting like an hour, and by this time it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was like, you know, like, they close at 5. So I called back and I was like, I'm gonna shut this because it's getting really annoying. That's better. So I went ahead and I called them back, and I was like, you know, I haven't heard back. I just, you know, wanted to see if you had any answers yet. And she was like, oh, unfortunately we can't get you in today. It'll be tomorrow morning though, for sure. And she goes, what time? And I was like, the earliest you can do it. Like, I wanted answers. So we did an appointment for 9 a.m. Here's where the videos come in. We stopped and got food on the way there because we left a little bit early so that way we could. And we drove all the way to Tampa. So we pulled up to All Children's.
Turbines traveling to our north keep a 10% chance of rain favoring northern spots, a high of 80, 82 degrees with a slight rain chance for Monday. East to westerly breeze in the afternoon, 5 to 10 knots, seas 1 to 2, light.
After I was walking inside, as soon as I got in, they had me put on a mask because you're not allowed in Children's Hospital without mask. As again, it was only me with Ari because they only allowed one person in the hospital, like, period. The other person had to wait in the car. So Kenzie waited in the car, and I went in, and I got to the front desk, and she's like, go ahead and go back to the, you know, imaging, after I got, you know, my badge and my mask. And she's like, go ahead and go back to the imaging center. And I was like, okay. So I went to the imaging center, and no one was there. It was completely dark and empty. So I went back to the front desk, and I was like, you know, there's no one back there. So she's like, okay, go to the registration office and they'll help you. So I went to the registration office, and then I got registered.
Consent form.
And then after that, we went to the waiting room back again, and I sat there for a little while with Ari. So they made us wear a mask, and we're just waiting. So, and then the ultrasound tech ended up coming out and getting us finally. We went in the room, and Ariel had a blowout, but I had to change her whole outfit. As we walked in there, the nurse, she was a sweetheart. She was honestly one of the sweetest people. She was actually pregnant, which congratulations to her. They had SpongeBob on the little TV monitor thing, and she loves SpongeBob. She loves SpongeBob, Trolls, Frozen. So she liked that. And then they had a little like fish that had like light up buttons across it. They had like a little fish tank thing that had like fake little toys and stuff. And she had a heyday. She was fine. She took it like a champion. They did her ultrasound on her brain. I was giving her a bottle, you know, she was calm. She just laid on the bed. She did good. She did really good. And then we left.
She's a tough cookie. I'm a tough cookie.
Yeah. I ended up getting the results back. I called her doctor because that was on Saturday that we had the brain ultrasound. It was on a Saturday. So the next day they were closed, and we didn't get our results that day. So I was like, all right, so Monday morning they should have the results. So Monday morning came around, and I waited till about 12 o'clock to see if her doctor would call me. Her doctor hadn't called me yet. So I had called her doctor. It took me 3 times calling the office to get to her, because every time I either got hung up on or I went to a voicemail that was full. So I finally got through to her doctor, and her doctor said that she has fluid in her brain. She does have fluid on her brain, and it's because of her plexus overworking itself. And I'm not sure what that means, but it kind of makes me think whenever she was in my belly, they did an ultrasound on her brain while she was in the belly. And they told me that she had, what they call it, I think it was hydrochloride plexus cyst. And I don't exactly know what that is. I still don't know what that is, but it obviously involves the plexus. And they said by the end of my pregnancy that it resolved itself. But I'm curious now, did it ever? Because like now we're having a problem with her plexus. So I'm kind of wondering, did it not solve itself and they just didn't see it? But they said that she does have the fluid because of the plexus working too hard or working overtime. So that was one of the things wrong. And then they said they also found a highlight. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. But her doctor just called it a highlight. She's like, we found a highlight on her brain. It's towards the back of her brain, and we're gonna send you to a neurosurgeon to get more information, more scanning, more screenings, all that done, because she doesn't know how serious it is. So I'm not exactly sure what it is. I don't have any answers on that aspect yet. We still have to go in and do more ultrasounds and more brain scans and stuff like that to get answers. We're hoping it doesn't resolve in surgery because they're sending us to a neurosurgeon. So we're hoping it doesn't involve anything like surgery-wise. But that's pretty much what's going on right now. We don't have any more answers. They're not gonna give us that any more scans and stuff like that until this whole coronavirus pandemic is done. So I'm assuming it's not horrible if they're willing to wait. She said, just I have a few key things I need to watch out for, such as like if she starts, vomiting a lot, if she like is very fatigued, if she's like she gave me a bunch of things, like if she's losing weight, if she's not sleeping, if she's if she starts seizing, if her limbs start stiffening, her neck starts stiffening, her eyes start rolling in the back of her head. Those are all signs that I need to watch out for. And if any of that happens, I need to rush her to the emergency room as soon as possible. But for now, we're just waiting for a call from the neurosurgeon to schedule an appointment to have her seen with them. Once we get that appointment done, I'm hoping we can find out more of what's to come. I don't know what they're gonna do about the fluid. I don't know what they're gonna do about the highlight. I don't know yet. I don't know anything, and it kind of freaks me out, but I'm taking it one day by day because I can't freak out about everything all the time. And that's one of the biggest things I had before I had a baby, was I'm a worrywart, and I still am. I am to this day a big worrywart. She's getting upset. I think she's getting tired. Yeah, plus she's talking. She's been doing this thing where she likes to like talk really loud and like make weird like screechy noises, and like she's smiling when she does it. So I don't know if she's tired or she's just making noises. I don't know. I hope you guys can hear her. But I'm just trying not to worry too much, because once I worry, I get drowned by the worry, and it's all I think about all the time, and it affects my mood, it affects my depression, and I can't have that with having a baby girl who's looking up to me and she's so happy all the time. I need to put a positive outlook on life, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been, something dire. It could have been, so much more than what it is. And I'm thanking God that it wasn't anything bad. I still worry, obviously. But I need my smiling little princess to see me smiling every day. So I can't let it drown me. So right now we're just kind of going day by day and hoping that we get a call soon, trying to make another appointment to get to the bottom of this, because I want answers. I know everyone else wants answers too, but as for now, she's doing great. She's happy-go-lucky. She's gaining her weight like she's supposed to be. She's incredibly smart. Like, I never thought she'd be so smart. It sounds really bad, but she's incredibly smart. She really is smart, and I'm so proud of her. But we're just gonna take it day by day, and we'll see how it goes, and I will definitely keep you guys updated. But I'll see you guys in the next video. I am going to be starting to post every Tuesday and Thursday, and sometimes on Saturday if I feel like it. We'll see. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.